I don't know if it's with y'all, if y'all experienced it yet. I'm pretty sure y'all did. But when I see a Jesus picture on the door, man, listen, I don't know what it is. Like, those are some of the rudest people.
Yo, what's going on today? So, new episode of D2D Podcast. We're just gonna go over a little bit of pre-qualification. As you can see, we got a couple new faces in here as well. This is gonna be the start. This is gonna be the start of our pre-qualification series. Kind of going more in the depth of like why we pre-qualify, what we do when we do it, why we do it. Also, even going to just adversity and things like that. So we'll go over a few topics that are going to be cool. But we do have two guests here today. First up, let's start with Kizzer. Kizzer actually has been here the whole time. He's behind the scenes, so you guys never get to see him. But just a little background. Kizzer came from Pakistan 4 or 5 months ago. 4 or 5 months ago. So yeah, he fresh off the boat. Is he take these fun rich stuff? Yeah, it's right top. He's got into door-to-door sales, and the kid's good. The kid's getting good. Reason being, he's come here, he has passion. And I think that's a great thing. But there's a lot of things we don't know, things that we want to grow on. But Kizzer, I mean, you got anything you want to say about yourself? Don't say your best.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say this about you. I love it out here. Door to doors teaches you a lot. I learn so much about myself, getting better day by day, being the best. Yeah, that's it.
Word. And you can't miss Malik, my man Malik. It's good. So a little background on Malik. So first off, Malik, you could tell a little bit about yourself, just who you are. So Malik actually was one of my mentors when I went into senior sales. So senior sales is essentially where I go to houses and sell. He was my first mentor. This is after I was doing door to door. So I actually went in the house was selling things, but yeah, it was a good time. Malik is $1 million rep. If nobody knows what that means, it means he sold $1 million in a year. Oh, so that's my word. Things like that. But yeah, I mean, do you want to tell a little bit about yourself, who you are?
Yeah, Seven, New Jersey in the building. Yeah.
Shout out to my dogs back home. Yo, don't do that.
What you mean?
Yo, don't do that.
Those my dogs, right? Started door to door about 4 years ago. All right, been progressing ever since, and at this point in my career, I could say I'm pretty good at what I do. I have a proven track record, sold over millions of dollars for our company, and we're here to drop some gems.
100%. I appreciate y'all both coming on here. The reason I will say I wanted them to come on here, because as you can tell, we got 3 black people. Just go put it out there, sure bluntly. We all had different experiences as well, but kids are coming from Pakistan is a completely different perspective that everybody gets to see, and just a different mindset to see in. And also Malik being an OG as well, actually being in the house more than anything, and just going into more depth of his experience and everything like that. But touching on pre-qualification a little bit, what pre-qualification is essentially when you go to a house and you get a little bit of anxiety, you get a little bit of fear because of the thoughts that come in your brain, right? Those thoughts make you run all over the place, make you think of things that aren't real, makes you think of things that may be real. And pre-qualification kind of puts you in a state where you're doing things you don't normally do just because of where your brain is going. But we're going to touch on that a little bit. But just going more into depth of like pre-qualification and stuff, Chris, I'm going to start off with you. Like, what's something that you really, when you go to a door, right? I'm sure you dealt with this plan, especially when you first start. Like, when you go to a door, like, what are you thinking?
Shit. Sometimes you ain't never
positive. Let's start positive. Let's start positive first.
Positive?
Yeah, positive.
I mean, when I first started, there was no positive. But positive, like if I know the house is messed up and like, all right, they need this, they need to work. Like, there's no way they don't need, like, I'm looking at their window, they booth, they need this work. So, but I could say it's more, I might have more, probably like bad pre-qualifier than the really good.
100%. So go into a little bit, like what do I ask, especially when you first started, like I'm sure we would qualify a lot.
Yeah, when I first started, I'm like, oh man, like I go to the door, They gonna see I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Like, what's this black kid on my door talking about my windows are bad? Shit. Yeah. Real shit. So, like today, for example, had a lady, you know what I mean?
My man said I did it today. And
For today, I can't, well, she came out. She didn't come open us. She just peeked out the door, like, and then she looked at me up and down like this, like, hello? Like I'm about to rob the house. But ultimately, I didn't end up setting her. It could have been because I was pre-qualifying. I already had that in my head. That energy, she probably felt that. So
that's the whole process of her just being like,
yeah.
black person? No, I'm saying, and it's real too, because it's like not real in the sense of like she could be thinking something completely different. She probably knows you I'm in my head, right? And your head, you over here thinking like, yeah, like, damn, she's thinking about to rob this shit. Mind you, her, she over here like, you look kind of good. No, stop. That was crazy. But nah, that's real. I like that a lot. Ed, talk to me a little bit about like your experience with pre-qualification and stuff like that.
It's pretty similar, honestly, as far as what we talk about with pre-qualification. I mean, me, naturally, I'm automatically like an anxious person. I have like a little bit of anxiety I deal with. I take my wellness pills every day to make sure I don't all the other thing in my ashwagandha. So, but naturally, it's so unfortunate, but I kind of get a negative connotation every time I think about welcome to a house, unfortunately. But, you know, I'll just try my absolute best, try to remind myself that I am the expert. I know what I'm talking about. It's gotten better over time. It's definitely enhanced. But, you know, pre-qualification, you know, obviously we're talking about being uncomfortable and everything. I'm black, so it's unfortunately, I kind of look at myself, well, oh, man, I pre-qualified my own head like, damn, I'm already at a disadvantage. But at the same time, when I get up there and I talk to them, I really try to see people for face value and get out of the pre-qualified state that I was already in prior and try to live in the moment. But yeah, it's definitely hard. I mean, I walk up, especially like we all know, no, we don't know, that's what we're saying it right now. But if they have a Trump sign, I'm pre-qual, I'm like, oh man, you hate black people. And not true. It's not true at all. But it's just the negative thoughts I had. If you got that truck outside, that big jumbo truck,
That 450?
yeah, that 450. If you got to do his own shit. If you got the, you know, you in the woods area, you got all this lumberjack stuff where you got all this height like deer, you got some deer on the side, like you know them, the heads or whatever. Like I automatically think, oh man, you got guns. He got guns and tools on me. But, you know, unfortunately, with me doing this, I haven't had to run into any crazy scenarios where everything, it just proves to me everything I'm thinking is in my head, and that's not the actual world I'm living in. I'm just making all these things up, and I think the mind does that naturally. But I just try my absolute best to stay out that pre-qualified state and see everything for face value.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Kizzer, I know you're so Kizzer is a little new, by the way. Kizzer's been doing this for about 3 months now. Well, yeah, welcome to the journey.
Yeah, that's cool.
But Kizzer a little new to this, but I'm sure like there's times where, you know, you start off hot, like you were blowing out, you were crushing. There's times you kind of go through your ups and downs and stuff, but like kind of tell me what goes into your head when you're on your little down areas and you're in your head a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
What are you thinking about?
oh, I'm being lazy out there. There's nothing else like it's not like there's no blanks don't exist. Like you go to an area, you do blank. I did blank. Even when I was in the right mindset, I didn't got an appointment. But honestly, it's all in your head. Like you just got to keep your energy up, just warm them up, have fun out there. Then you get appointments. The highest days I had, I was having super fun with people. That's it. It's all that it is out there. Like the pre-qualifying thing, I did pre-qualify, like when we see like Jews and stuff like that. I'm Muslim, so all the wars that are going out there, like Palestine versus Israel, I used to pre-qualify like the Jews. I'm like, oh shit, I'm a Muslim. It's gonna get tough when he inside there. I used to skip those houses.
I was like, shit. No, I said I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, now that's little too. Oh, sorry, I had to cut you over to finish.
You were.
Oh, I'll just say too, we were talking about this a little bit earlier too, but I think it's just so real too, because you come from another country. And again, I'm not gonna never stop saying that. That's crazy. I'm just gonna put a lot of credit on that. Coming from another country, coming here, and then going door to door to face to everybody's job in America. Yeah, you gotta be diabolical to do that. So thank you. But just put reference, like when we had a coworker working with you in the beginning, right? My boy can say the hood. My boy can say the hood. He didn't know what to do. He's like, yo, like, what's up with these people? And like sometimes it gets a little like ignorant because you could tell because it has an accent. So when he talks, they kind of like get a little ignorant, like, oh, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know this. I don't know that. And just kind of like, you could tell that. But even when you're there, it's kind of like, yo, I'm in the area. Like, I feel this aura. And I mean, if you want to go on a little more depth, you were there, not me.
Oh, yeah. The thing with, like, I never felt anything about my accent. But, like, some people come to the door and trying to be, like, the cool ones. They go, like, oh, I can hear what you're saying. I'm like, oh, you don't speak English? So that's the thing I do. Like, I never understand when someone's being racist to me. Like, I still don't understand, like, all the business jokes these people have here. But for me, like, I don't even care about it. I just go with the flow. I have fun. That's what I care about. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else that matters.
Let's go. Lee, it's good. Lee, what up, though? Good, guys. He didn't have that, so. But yeah, so just to give you guys reference, so Malik again was in not indoor sales, sorry, senior sales, which is essentially rather than going door to door, he's actually inside homes selling products, creating value and everything like that, and actually selling. So it's a whole different atmosphere. I mean, if you want to go into more detail, like what being in the house is like and things like that too, versus he changed door to door because he did do both.
Yeah, both are tough. You know, to shoot it straight. But pre-qualification is something that we have to get our heads out of, you know. The big thing is, as we pre-qualify, we're limiting our opportunities. So I always say it to myself is, you can either look at the glass half full or half empty. You know, I'm not going to knock at that door expecting to get a no. No, I'm going to that door to expecting to sell you what I have to offer you. That starts with the great first impression. So even a black man, you know, I don't truly see color. You know, I feel that people always deserve the chance to prove to me that, you know, they deserve my time. And again, like, that just means I have to be twice as good. So I always train myself, knowing I'm a black man in America, like, let's be real, like, that's what it is. But I'm that twice as good as I'm supposed to be. Like, you have your average person and you have me, right? So that took countless hours of training. That took countless hours of just tutorials, shadowing, repetition, scripting, role playing, right? And pre-qualification, it happens naturally, but the big thing I always say is just, you always want to put yourself in their shoes. Like, I think you mentioned this maybe a couple podcasts ago.
So before you even get into that, actually, I want to know how you pre-qualified when you was in the house. Either when pre-qualified, either when you first started, or like give me a visual walkthrough of how your brain went and the process you went through.
So walking up to a door, you know, people see where it actually lives. I'll walk you through. Go ahead. Talk to muffler.
The moment you get your appointment, right? Your appointment is dang right on your phone. You want me to go from the in-home consultant, or you want me to go from a door-to-door stance? In-home. In-home. The moment you get the text, right? You get the text, you got an appointment. Immediately. First off. Fuck. Worried. I got work. Up there. Cool.
You know, seeing old calls is not easy.
It's out there. Work. And then so after that, as you move forward, obviously you get past that moment, and go to just walk me through the process as like all the way leading up to the appointment.
Depends on how far that drive is, right?
So or your adults in the car when you drive.
That first time that I got my appointment, well, a lot of times when you're fresh to an environment, you're ready. Like, I was fresh out of training. You know, I did multiple weeks of training, so I was prepared. I was the first one out of my training to get an appointment. So when I got that first appointment, my owner came in, is like, yo, who's ready? My trainer said Malik, and I ran it and didn't even finish training yet. And so I still don't know what it takes to be in the home, and not even know how to work up a price yet. So my thought process, just pre-qual, I'm just going to have that fucking dude up there. I don't even know where this going. The dude loved me. Like, I don't care what I'm selling. I don't care how much it costs. This dude, like, it's like poker, right? You're playing the man against you. So it's like,
I went into that house, Puerto Rican guy up in North Jersey. So even before you get to that, so when you were going to the house, right? And it doesn't have to be just disappointing, but like when you were going to the house and now you at the house, what's your mindset at? So I was always taught never to park in somebody's driveway, out of courteous, out of respect. You never know when that homeowner's coming and going. That is not your house. You respect it as is. I was always taught to never walk across people's lawns, right? You always want to walk around the neighborhood like somebody's always watching. So even if the driveway's super long, like you walk your ass at the end of the driveway and go to that next house. You don't cut across somebody's lawn, which is totally disrespectful. Because who knows, that dude could have watched you do that, and now you just showed disrespect to that person's house. Now he's pre-qualifying you.
It's definitely always somebody watching.
Facts. Sure, big facts. So walking up to the door, I keep little things like that in mind. And so in your head already, like you're going to the house and you're just very pinpoint. Like, okay, pre-qualifying, like I don't even know who's at this door. You're making sure you're doing the right things so that way he can't pre-qualify you. And that's a really good point that like people pre-qualify you before you even get to the door. So you got to think that like, okay, like even Chris had mentioned a little bit, Chris comes to the door and he's like, damn, she's thinking this and that. But like, what if I was to do this a little bit different? You start kind of changing your mood and switching things up. That's a really good point. And that's character. Like I was always taught from a football coach in high school, Coach Najar, shout out. Character is who you are. Character is who you are when nobody's watching, right? Are you the type of person to hold the door open, even though you're not getting instant gratification? Integrity. You know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that I just carry myself with. And again, as a black man, I have to be twice as good. So I want to make sure these small check marks, these small wins, that's going to lead up to that big one at the end. All right. And so you get into the house, right? And now you're seeing that person, like your first 7 seconds. Like, what are your thoughts? It's crucial. It's probably the most important. You lock eyes with that homeowner. You knock on their door, right? You want to give them space. He's always taught to just, give that homeowner space to open that door. But you want to be confident. You want to speak with tonality. You want to speak with, just clarity. Chest up, chin held high, all right? I'm here for a purpose. Like, my name is Malik. I work with such and such company. I'm here for XYZ, may I come in? You don't be given an opportunity to tell you no. It's like, I'm already in your door, already holding the door open for you. You know what I mean? And then now I'll get right to the warm up, right? I don't give you a chance to dislike me because I know you're already judging me, right? I already know that you saw me walk up, you got a decent whip, right? It's like, I walk up, I got clean pants on, clean shirt. Oh, this dude's a salesperson. He ain't a contractor, right? So that right there, that's all running through my head. All right, cool. You're peeking through your window. I see you. I'm acting like I don't see you, but I see you. Right? You walk up to the house, you act, believe it, you don't know what's going on. I like to play dumb. I give homeowners these small wins because I know they're looking for them, right? And I keep them in my back pocket. Like I said, I load that clip up. You know what I mean? Just keep things for, there's a right time and a right place for everything. Right now, my first impression, I want to make my mark on you. Whether you buy from me today or whether you buy from me later or you don't buy from me at all, you're going to remember the impression I made on you because of how good I really am. And I think one thing too, that's, and I was remembering this a little bit earlier too. I'm like, damn, I'm glad we're talking about this like pre-qualification and stuff because there was one house that I was going to and this was, I think, Ed, you had said, and I was in, so he says, I think you had said it. I'm pretty sure you said it. And the guy said, well, he didn't say anything about you, but I get to the house, right? It was a roof appointment. So I get to the house immediately. I'm already I'm looking at the house trying to like I'm looking at the house trying to find what's wrong and stuff. And like, this goes back to when we were talking about process orientation. I was already on step 4 of the whole sales thing. So it's like, I'm looking at the house trying to find out like, oh, is there actually going to be problems? Is this going to be easy to sell? I'm already in my head, just not confident, right? And then now, once I'm sitting in the car, I'm like, for me, and this is a really big point, right? You have to catch these moments. Because if you move forward in these moments, you're going to do exactly what you're thinking, and you're going to move in fear. So I'm really glad that, like, at this appointment, so essentially what I did was, I knew I was thinking of all these things, so I ended up actually calling Malik, and I'm like, yo, Malik, I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, yo, Malik, like, I don't see anything on the house. Like, I'm here for a roof appointment. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm over here like, damn. I'm like, man,
Fucking said this.
All in my head, I'm like, damn, I said some bull or whatever. So yeah, man. Nah, but it's not your fault ever. It's not your fault. Don't your job. But in my head, I'm like, damn, there's nothing wrong with the house. Like, I don't know what to do. And Louis like, yo, what's up with you? I'm like, what you mean, bro? Ain't nothing wrong with the roof. Like, what you mean? He's like, yo, bro, you don't even know what the homeowner needs. And I'm just like,
Shit, did you be knock on the door yet?
right. He's like, did you even see the person yet? I'm like, nah. I was like, I'm sitting in the car still. He's like, when your appointment starting? Like, a minute? He was like, bro, what's your fucking job? So like, just that reality check, I was just like, oh shit, like he's right. Like I literally didn't even talk to, I don't know what the homeowner needs. There's no way I'm able to help you. I can't help a homeowner if I don't even know what you need in the first place. So like once that happened, I was just like, oh wow. I get into the house and just to kind of see where the story went. When I get into the house, right, guy's mad cool. We're hanging out, like we're chilling for a little bit. Warm-up's cool. He's like, yeah, I got work. I gotta get things going. I go into, he's like, yeah, I go and check the roof. I start seeing windows that's seal failure, water window, this, that. I'm just like, what's happening? Gutter is messed up. I'm like, oh, the back was messed up. And I start pointing these things out. He's like, oh, I didn't even know that. So it's just like that kind of stuff. And you wouldn't be able to see that. You was in the front. But like that kind of stuff, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The last thing you should be worried about is your roof. Like your roof's fine. But like all these other things, like, wow, I didn't know that. Like he really just appreciated everything that I did. I didn't sell, but happy ending would have been nice. But
You're not authentic, bro. Right, being yourself.
and he liked that a lot. And it kept it so real. I don't know if he called us back or not, but just even besides that point, like I left that impression. So just even relating that back to door, right? Like we go to the houses, and just to give y'all examples, I've been doing this a minute. I got hella examples, but I went to this one house and you brought up the Trump signs. It was out there. Like when I said they was loud, like big side, it was covering half their windows.
The driveway to the crib.
Yeah, and they had like these things hanging out. And I was in Forker River, so Forker River is over by the beach and stuff. But I go by it and I'm like, usually I don't really let those affect me because, to be honest, at first they bother me. Like I see the Trump signs, I'm damn, they might be racist or whatever. But like over time, as I push myself out that pre-qualification step and just go, they be mad cool. Like they be the coolest people. Like they just want to talk to you. So they're mad cool. But I would go to this one house and I knock on the door, and this is me not pre-qualifying. I go to the door, I'm like, oh, they're probably cool. Go to the door, me a pre-qualifying, thinking, oh, she's probably cool. Shot me right back. I knock on the door, she opened the door, she was like, what? I was like, oh,
Caught you.
all my negative thoughts. It came right in. It came raining down. But talked to her a little bit, and then she was just like, nah, like she was good. So just whatever, I moved forward. I kind of felt the tension, so I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. But that's it working in the opposite. But even in the beginning, I would see those signs. I'm like, dang, I don't really want to go up there. But I ended up going up there, and again, literally, they ended up being mad. I remember talking to this one guy, and it's funny because they always bring up politics. And you don't really want to get in a politic conversation, but I kind of just listened to him, and he's just chatting about just his views. And I'm like, you know what? In my head, I was so worried about you being like a supporter, you being racist, this and that. I was like, you had issues that you just want to get off your chest that probably you can't talk to nobody about. And like, I came to your door and you were willing to trust me enough for you to spread your opinions and things like that. And like, to me, that's what was the turning point. I'm like, I can't just be going to houses and letting my fear take over. Letting my fear take over situations that could be great. Because I could be having like $1 million conversations and I'm over here scared.
I know. I think I had another thing like you and Ed said with the Trump sign, like how y'all pre-qualify with that when y'all see that.
Hey, you get a couple people that can fleet. They don't abide by what the morals they're supposed to be living. Oh, wait, get in trouble. They in trouble.
But it was crazy because that's so funny. He said that me and Dan was walking today, and I went to this one house and it had like the Catholics or something like that. I don't know, whatever. I don't know how to say Catholics in Spanish, but it said like I could read it. It was in Spanish. I forgot what the word is, but I could tell it said Catholics because it had like Jesus on it and all that. So I'm like, oh, they're Hispanic, and then they're religious. I'm like, oh, cool, this dude gonna be fun. Boy, I knocked on that door, smoked it. I knocked on the door, he came out. He's like, oh, like, what do you want, whatever the case may be. And I just immediately go like, I forget what the word is. Somebody gotta look it up. Somebody look up that are Catholics in Spanish. I forgot the word. But I said the word. Like, I didn't even say hi to you. I just said the word. He just, from the jump. And then he looks at me. He just responds, which is like he corrected me. I was like, I might have said like Catalios. And he was like, Catalios. I was like, oh, shit, my fault. Yeah.
Oh, man, it's supposed to sort of that. Catolico.
Catolico. That's what it is. I was like, Catolico. Or he was like, Catalico. I was like, accent. But he said like he was trying to correct me. I was like, oh, what the fuck? You trying? I'm staying on business, motherfucker. So after he said that, we kind of just started chit-chatting a little bit. But he was very just like, yeah, the owners are busy. Like, get out of here. Like, we're good. But me, I always, now at this point, I'm trying to break things down. Like, I lower resistance just by cracking jokes and stuff. So he's talking. I was like, oh, the homeowners. I was like, your dad? He was like, granddad. I said, abuelo. He was like, abuelito. I was like, all right, bitch. You know, I'm going to keep correcting anything. But yeah, and then he just slowly closed the door in my face. I was like, oh, shit, he was mad. But just going back to what pre-qualification, like me assuming that I could just say whatever I wanted at the door, and me assuming that, oh, he's Hispanic, he's going to be cool. And then it just wasn't really that, you know? So that's big, bro. Like, there's been so many instances, you know, when I look at, like, pre-qualification, I study, like, the psychological aspect of what we do, right? You know, we can have a script. When we first come out, we're told what to do. And they always are saying, just remember you're a dumb new person, right? Because, like, as a dumb new person, you don't know any better, right? So what do? You just do what you're taught, right? You do what you're taught. You say the words that they tell you to say, and you just warm up with the people. And that's when you see more success, right? Less is more, right? So that's why pre-qualification, I try to stay away from it. And, you know, even though again, I know people judge a book by its cover, but again, I don't see color. So I'd see myself meeting a person, a human being. We're all human beings. We all came out, you know what? It's just like, you're no different than me. We're all here trying to make a living. We're all here trying to make it. You know, you have your problems. I have my problems. You know, I'm not going to put those problems on the table, right? That's my business. That's your business, right? But again, like, even with the Trump signs, even with the lumberjacks, even with, you know, people like that, their money's green. You know what I mean? So it's like, I look at it as, okay, cool. This is just a tougher assignment, right? This is something I just got to work a little bit harder on. And okay, yeah, we might not click right away, right? By the end of this meeting, right? I don't give a damn if you voted or not. Like, it doesn't matter what you have your interaction with me today. All right, my impression is going to be left with you today. And pre-qualification, it sucks because we all do it. You know, we all look at somebody when they walk in the building like, he's wearing this, or, he's with her, or he's with, you know, he's doing this, and, he drives that car, or, you know, it all happens. It's just natural. Yeah. Right. But again, that's just something that people don't know. Right. They don't know you. They don't never spoken to you before. Like, we could be saying, oh, my God, he looks like he's good at basketball. He fucking sucks. Right, he's 6'4", 6'5", you know, he like, you know, I think. What's the show? Everybody Hates Chris? When they put on.
He was shitty. So it's like that, you never know how somebody's gone through, you never know what people think about you. And again, that's in our control, whether we leave a good impression or not. So even outside of what we do, like roofing, siding, windows, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, just in life, you know, you walk up to a person at a bar, you walk up to a bartender, and, you know, they judge you. They might think you have no money. All right. You fucking slap a black card on the table. You're like, yo, buy me this. Buy whole, everybody this. Right. And now they show you the best, now they're your best friend. Now they're like, oh my God, like, oh, you're cool. Yeah, fuck you, man. Just buy my shit. Just give my shit. Right? You had your chance. Your first impression is gone, bro.
So, Malik, you have a lot of experience in the house, right? You pre-qualified a ton. Now, when you stop. But you had a lot of thoughts on the house, and well, the indoor sales, like being inside the house sales, is such a longer process. So you kind of already talked about the intro, right? You warm up with somebody. Now, whatever their impression of you was, you have now shifted that, right? Their first pre-qualification, you shifted their vision. Right? That first 7 seconds have passed. You have now shifted your vision about them because now you've gotten to know them a little bit. But now talk a little bit about like what pre-qualification in urgency. Now the next step in the process, what does pre-qualification and urgency look like? And like how you kind of fix your mindset throughout.
So when we're setting appointments, you know, we go door to door, we look at a house, you look at asbestos sign, like, oh yeah, you still got asbestos on your home? Like, I bet, let me knock, right? Now, when I go into the house, I want to be dumb. I always give people these small wins to where I don't know anything. You know, sometimes, you know, it's the dumbest person in the room, the smartest person in the room, or, you know, you never know. So I let these homeowners think that, okay, you're in control. So they're, like you mentioned, their impression of me, everything has changed about them, right? Of me, it's like, okay, this dude's actually educated. Okay, he speaks well, he speaks proper. Oh, he's from Saraville, New Jersey. Oh, he's been around white folks. He's grew up around white folks. Oh, he went to Fairleigh Dickinson University. It's a private white institution. So he's been in the mix. So it's like, now, like you mentioned, the whole perception changed. Now I'm in control, right? Because now whatever they thought about me, it's completely wrong. So now they're second guessing their own opinions. So now this is where I strike. So that's not
Huge. And I think that's a huge advantage that we had. Like the moment we shift that perspective, they're like, oh shit. So they off guard. So now we can literally come in and
Why? He's a fresh black boy.
and like they open the floor to you. Like, you know, I'm in their house, I'm sitting at their kitchen table where their kids sit, you know, I'm playing with their kids, playing with their dogs, and it's just like their whole perception. Like when I first walked up, you know, they might have hated my guts, but now it's like, yo, this dude's like my best friend, you know, and that just goes back to warming up. But going back to your question of just transitioning, you know, if we're specifically talking about just the role that we focus on, just in-home consulting, selling, roofing, siding, windows, that, again, I look at it not like, I think you said something about face value, but I look at it like psychological, right? Why am I doing certain things, and why do I say things at a certain time? And when you say something, okay, now this is what I say, because later on I want to use that against you. So when people tell me like, oh yeah, man, like dude knocked on my door, I don't even know why I'm doing this, I don't even know why you're here, I don't get the work done, I'm like, okay, cool, man. You know, I'll be in and out. Just be mad quick, bro. You should have no issues. Most of the neighbors just getting a free estimate anyway. All right, man. Like, let me just show you a couple of things, and let's see what the house looks like. Let me see if you actually need the work done. You know, talking from a neutral standpoint, right? Because it's me and them versus the home. Now I'm on their team, right? So now they pre-qualified me. I shifted their whole perception of me, and now we're on the same team. Right, so now we're on the same team. So it's me and them versus the home, or whatever the problems that they're having. And the big thing is, I never want to feel like I'm attacking them, right? So I mentioned attacking before, but again, it's you versus the problem. It's us, me, you versus the problem. So I keep it from a neutral standpoint, because I feel that as an expert, and you go to certain, you know, doctor visits, or when you go to certain, you know, mechanics, you know, they speak very neutral. Right, because, you know, when I go to my physician, you know, I'm not going to tell my physician, yeah, man, like, yeah, Dr. B, yeah, I don't need that blood work today. Like, I don't need you to take my blood pressure today. She going to put it right back on my arm. Like, yo, because that's the expert. We're receptive to experts. And we're receptive of people who know what they're talking about. So, again, now perception change, going into urgency. Now it's us, right? So bad. Oh, love it.
Want to say something, it's not off the top at all, but it's about pre-qualifying. Like, I knew what I was getting myself into, because he was here before me. So I already knew it was going to be a door knocking joint and all that. But did like any of y'all pre-qualify yourself on the job, like when y'all applied and stuff like that?
I don't know about you, but I was ready. Oh, you was all right. I was ready. Like, you know, I'm coming in fresh. You know, I was working at the gym, and I interviewed with an HR, you know, HR director, interviewed with one of the owners, and I took some time to decide, because I was working with some buddies, and it was a hard transition to where I was leaving my friend group to go better myself. And sometimes we have to make that sacrifice to, you know, grow back, right? You know, we can't take everybody with us. So I felt that in that moment, it's like, okay, I'm going to take this leap of faith. I'm going to give it all I got. All right, whether I know somebody in there or not. Like, at least you had your buddy here. Like, I had nobody. All right, I had nobody to look up to. I had nobody I could, you know, practice with, role play with, script with. Like, I was getting out the mud. That was, you know, and it made you who I am today, because I don't take it lightly. You know, stuff like this, you take that and it makes you stronger, because I didn't have that blueprint laid out for me. Like, I had a plan,
I had a plan to come in and dominate. I wasn't, just about to try and make $30,000, $40,000. Like, I had a goal of making over 100K. And, that's all of our goals. Like, we're all trying to freaking make money. There's people out there making $200,000, $300,000 doing what we do. So it's like, I'm trying to be the best. Right? And that mindset, that, pre-qualification is just like, I want to be the best. You have to have a desire to win. Right? So no matter what happens, no matter what signs on the lawn, no matter what door you're knocking on, if you want to win, right, you have to be a winner and you have to be confident, not cocky. Right?
That's oh yeah, but I moved here. I didn't know like if it was gonna be a door to door. Like I can still remember it was going to be a door to door. But then he showed me like the pay structure. I was like, damn, this was money. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be this rich in this month. I was like, oh hell yeah, baby, let's go. Then I went to the doors. I started knocking. First we were trained by Devin. Damn, we were lucky. We were the only first batch he trained, and we came out like we were 10 people. He trained us like the best. I had someone to look up to. I was like Malik. I was like, oh shit. Oh, he's this good? Okay, fine. Now he's my competition, but I'm gonna learn from him still. So I just started doing what he did. I get many appointments, but like, yeah, there's a thing with them, but yeah. But I was like, yeah, okay. So he just mentioned something about the teams. Like we are on the same team with the homeowner. That's the thing that I think is like the missing point by myself. The day I just figured that out, like how to be their teammate, oh, it would like flip. Like the numbers would be like 80-20 a month, like 80-25. Currently, like they're like 45 into something, but
yeah, you're basically like we're trying to help people with their problems, and people have problems that they don't know they have yet. So it's like as the expert, I'm not pre-qualifying you. I know you're pre-qualifying me. That's cool. I'm still here to help you out, no matter what field. I'm in your house as a guest. I'm gonna treat you with respect. But I have a job to do. And I'm not going to let you, and I'm not going to let anybody else that come through that door affect that. Like, I think we was in the house one day, and I think we were closing a deal. Somebody walked in at the end of the deal, about to screw everything up. Hell no, bro. We just spent 2 hours closing this deal. Like, no way. This is my house now. Right? And it's just that mindset right there of just being a winner. It's like, yo, okay, this is your house respectfully, right? But this is my sale. This is my job, right? I'm the expert. You're going to you're going to gravitate towards me, right? And that control right there, I feel that I have really good, control in the home where I'm able to tell people urgency of just like, hey, bro, you have this issue. It's going to turn into X, Y, Z. If you don't take care of it, it could cost you this much. If you use me or not, bro, you still got to get it done. Like that's, unfortunately your problem, but I'm here to help you. And I think coming from that standpoint, just like being neutral is like, oh shit, like this dude's actually damn. I thought different about this guy. This dude's really like, he really changed my whole perspective on him. This dude's nice.
Yeah, and just to tie in like pre-qualification into that, it's like you talk a lot about neutral standpoints, right? Like pre-qualifying comes from like a standpoint of like you're trying to do something. Like if you're trying to sell, you already are losing. You know what I'm saying? So that neutral standpoint is huge when it comes to pre-qualifying because if you're going to sit at a neutral standpoint, there is no way to pre-qualify because you don't care. And if you don't care, there's just like, that's just the end of it. People just naturally gravitate, right? Because it's not about you. And I like that a lot because you emphasize that a lot when we were in camps and things like that. And now it's even, I'm back in the field. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I ain't back in the field.
Yes, sir.
Already back in there trying to cook. But now going into the field, there's a lot of things that I've taken from that and now applying now, and I'm 12 times better, which is really cool to see. Like I'm in certain areas and now my self-awareness is so there because I know that I pre-qualify, and once I'm in the area and the moment I'm like, it's easy. Like when you're in the band, you're like, oh, where we going today? Boom, that's a red flag. It's like to me. So like to me, when I hear these things, it's like I hear little clicks in my head. So in my head, I even ask myself, oh, where I'm going today? I said, oh, red flag. I'm trying to pre-qualify. Like I catch myself before I'm about to do it. Or I'll go like, we'll be in the band and it's like, yo, how long's the drive? I hear one of those, red flag. I'm like, yeah, nah. Stop asking how long the drive is because now it's like, that's just going to start, I call it like Mr. Negative in your head, right? Mr. Negative starts working. Oh, how long is the drive? Oh, this is going to be a long drive or this is and that, or someone try and shift it. to make a positive. Oh, it's a long drive. That's cool. We get more time to hang out. It's just like, nah, keep it neutral. Cool. We're going 45 minutes. We're going 45 minutes. That's it. And keep it neutral.
You know when you don't pre-qualify?
Which way?
You know when you don't pre-qualify?
I'd be nasty as hell.
No, like, what's like when you like we talk about pre-qualification and why we pre-qualify, but when is it time that we don't pre-qualify?
When it's like a person you that's relatable to.
Relatable, but even before you even meet the person.
Like what? Oh yeah.
When you're financially stable, right? When you're pre-qualifying, you're putting all these scenarios and you know that check. You're out there like, I'm $4 grand, check you out, I'll share. What you should do? Like, you know that's coming in, so it's like, you walk into that house and fuck this, I don't care, I got $4 grand coming my way. You know, whether you buy or not, that's just only going to add to it, right? So it's like, I guess a financial standpoint comes from when we pre-qualify because we are so pressed to sell and so pressed to make money that we start putting all these scenarios in our head, you know, of trying to complete a sale in our head before we even talk to the person. But if you making $100K a year and you walk into that door, you're like, okay, cool. If you get a no, you like, man, I'm good. All right, I'll walk into the next house confident. Right, all right, cool. You said no. I know it's a numbers game. I know that, you know, somebody's going to say yes. And if it's not you, it's the next person. Right, I only stopped at your door because, you know, I saw this. And that's just, you know, when you're financially, I guess, stable, it helps a lot more without, like, you don't pre-qualify those long drives. You don't pre-qualify. I know some people like to look up the house before they go to an appointment. Facts. I don't like doing that because for what? Right, you got to go anyway.
And then, like, a big topic Chris was talking about earlier about pre-qualifying and everything like that. And pre-qualifying, like, a lot of times, like, I didn't even know I was doing door-to-door. And I was pre-qualifying and thinking, like, if I was even good enough because I never had any prior sales experience. But you gotta, like, I have to give so much credit to Dev because, and even we're talking about minorities and black, whoever, and different being minorities, even with Kizzer and Adrian as well, too. Very important, very, very important for anyone, especially if you're black, doing door-to-door. I did not see another black person being good at this shit when I first came here until I ran into Dev. So you kind of got to give, like, Dev his credit and his respect for really paving the way for anyone who wanted to do door-to-door in Austin, not even only being good, but being great, and then he being able to teach it even better than what he actually did. Because came in there, and the first thing I said, like, all right, everybody's talking about they can relate. They're talking about their little hiccups and what they go through. And, oh, my God, he said no. Just shake it off. But at the end of the day, I'm keeping it real. You are not black doing this. And when I seen Dev do this shit at a high level, I'm like, all right, he understand what I'm going through. There is no excuse. He could, excuse my language, he could tell me if I'm bitching. Like, really, he could really tell me if I'm playing around or if I'm making excuses. So when I seen him doing it, and then I seen my best friend do it, Chris doing it, I'm like, all right, there's really no excuses as to why you can't be good at this craft. If you and I think that's such a bigger lesson in life for minorities and our people as well too. Like, we always want to put these excuses off, like, oh, this isn't that, this person wasn't in my life.
Like the scenario not perfect enough.
My mom wasn't in my life, my dad wasn't in my life, I wasn't born into money, the white man did this, the white man did this, oh my God, I'm gonna just do this. And to dodge all accountability and put these pre-qualified scenarios in our head that aren't even real and detach us farther from what we need to get from our goals. So that showed me a lot, and I'm so thankful that Dev and Chris are here doing this alongside with me. Now, even I know that I was with them, and now wherever I go, whatever I'm trying to do in life, there is no excuses because people are actually doing the same thing as you, and there's people that actually look like you that are succeeding at a high level. So you always got to keep that in mind.
Look at Kenny Brooks. Yeah, I know the name Kenny Brooks, right? One of those famous door-to-door guys that went viral off of this video from his county pool. Yeah. Where was he from? Like Detroit or something like that? You know what I mean? Wherever he was from. And he made a transition to go door to door in a whole nother state. You know, he went crazy.
I love to do that. That'd be really dope.
And yeah, he was selling some type of cleaning product, $30-$40, you know, like,
He sell me doing that shit.
yo,
My boy, some beat.
and he did nothing like, and like, all shout out to the GOAT, but like, he's like, just being funny. He's just being himself. Yeah. Right? There's no like secret sauce, you know, there's no like, it's just being, people buy us.
Who does that?
You know, people buy our energy, and if our energy coming to that doors, if we're pre-qualifying the house, you know, that energy is negative, the homeowner is going to see that, they're going to feel off that, and then, you know, they're not going to buy, they're not going to set.
Did I go on this? So I said another thing because you touched on it way earlier. Like you said something about like instant gratification. Like a lot of people seek that. And I think that's probably why another reason, like why people start door to door, they don't like maintain or see success in it because at first maybe month, 3-4 months, like they're not seeing no success in it. So they're like, what's the point? Like I'm not good at this right now. Like came out of training, I'm not good. Fuck this shit. All right. And like you gotta stay down and just grind it out with your head.
And even to touch on that too, it's like a big thing is that a lot of people are leaving because like they're going through that process. Like they're going to homes, they're like, okay, and training is like, oh cool, everything's cool and sweet, right? You're chilling, you're in your comfort zone. Immediately once you go out there, it's just like now you have all these other thoughts that are coming in. And like that's where that and this is where like the advanced training coming, right? Because you can't like, and this is life, like, and we love talking about life here. Like this is life in general. The moment you could train for whatever you want, like sports, for example, like, I used to run track, so it's an easy example for me. I could train all day. If I got performance anxiety, I'm getting cooked. It don't matter how good I am. So it's like if you're not training your mind to actually perform, you're missing out on 25 or 50% of your training anyway. So it's like, yeah, you went so hard on this end, but mentally did you prepare yourself? Prepare. And that's really that, and that's a English. That's preparation. Like if you're going out in the field and like, you know, it's raining one day, and we had that recently. It's raining. Or you're not ready yet. You're not prepared. You don't have a jacket. You don't have none. Cool. 20 appointments for the day. Trash. 0.9 average for the whole department. It's just bad. It's a bad look. But then the next day come around, right? Everyone was like, all right, like, you know, I'm going to come a little more prepared. The mindset still wasn't there, but they came a little more prepared. Average went up a little bit. Next day come out, it's sunny. Now we were going to gratitude, right? Now the lows, right? You have a rainy day, you start appreciating the sunny days. You're like, damn. And it's crazy because now it goes on. And it's crazy how like just preparation plays a huge part and even just like in the highs and lows. And that's kind of going to two different topics, but that's a good point. You
leads back to pre-qualification. If you're prepared and, you know, you're financially backed, it's like, okay, why are you pre-qualifying? You know, you put in the work, you put in all the training, you put in all the role playing, you put in all the scripting, talking to yourself, recording yourself, hearing yourself talk, how you sound, the tonality. You put in all this work to be ready to perform. You know, Super Bowl's coming up, right? They got 2 weeks after the last, the AFC or the NFC championship. They got the Pro Bowl and they got the Super Bowl, right? Those 2 weeks are used to be prepared. So the Super Bowl, they're ready to hit the field running. Right? It's the same thing with us. Like we put in all this training behind the scenes. Like, you know, nobody gives you congratulations when you're getting it out the mud, right? But they see the results and like, oh, congrats. Oh, I always knew you were going to be successful. Yeah. I was always going to do this and I was going to do this. But you didn't know what I had to do to prepare myself to make sure that I was ready to do this, right? I wasn't pre-qualifying the role. I wasn't pre-qualifying the house. I wasn't pre-qualifying a human being, right? Because I was prepared mentally and I was prepared, you know, with my skill set.